Good morning, Denise here at Junkie UK. Just popped on to do a quick video this morning, continuing with the using up my bases for the upcoming fairy journal. Okay, so I've got pulled a few bits out ready, so I don't have to go digging through. So I've pulled a few bits of my fairy fussy cuts and things out. I've grabbed some bits of frothy lace. Dug through and pulled out 3 or 4 little fabric clusters from my stash. I have brought a couple of bigger pieces. I love this fairy from a fairy tale book about the first fairy cake. She fell in the cake mix. She's having a bath in that cup of tea. Love it. Another little image there. Some doily, some book page. My little pile of scraps that I had on my desk from the last video, not an awful lot. I remembered to bring some words over, and of course I've got the bases that we're going to be working on. So I've laid those out like that so I can see what I've got when I'm wanting to choose a little piece to put on rather than digging through constantly, so you can see what I'm doing as well. So these are the bases that I'm hoping to get through, not today obviously. I'm only going to do 3. Well, I said I was going to do this envelope today, but that's going to be much too big for my journal. So I was thinking, it is coffee dyed on, I was thinking I would cut it in half and make 2. So we'll do that to start with. So that'll be 2 of the pieces we do, and then I'll just choose one of the other, and we'll probably finish the others off in a final video. Go something like that. Oh, perhaps that would be better. They look even. It's going to be mostly covered up anyway, so yeah, that's fine. Not too far off, but not good enough. Oops, there we go. Okay, so obviously the sides will be sewn up when we're done, and that'll be 2 small envelopes for those. What else shall we choose? Little bits of craft card. There's a little corner. I don't know where that came from, but it was just kicking around, so you might as well do that. I do like the book page behind the fairies. So shall we just do those 3, I think, for today, and then we'll try and get through these bits and pieces next time. Okay, so, whoops, now we threw a cup of tea on the floor then. I think we'll start with this because this will be a real quickie, because the background is down just about, isn't it? Let's choose an image for it and then decide what we're going to put behind it. So I've only got a couple of the actual flower fairies today. The rest are from other fairy books and bits and pieces that I've got. But they're a nice small size, so that will fit on smaller pieces as well. Oh, she's sweet. See, when you put them up against the small pieces, they don't look quite so small, do they? Yeah, I like her. I don't know if she's getting lost a little bit. Got a few bits that obviously came with her. What else have we got? And that's all the other way. Black and white one, but I don't think that would go on the... I'd like her if she was looking the other way, to be honest, because the pocket seems to be going the other way. Maybe we'll go for him. And a bit of flower. Like I say, it's not going to take much, is it? A bit of a word. What word do we think would go with him? Peaceful? I don't know. He looks like he's probably full of fun rather than peaceful to me. It's awesome too big. We could cut it down, couldn't we? Let's cut awesome down and see if it suits him. Obviously he's going to have something behind him because he is lost at the moment on that cream background. Well, let's try stuff behind him and then we might see how he looks. So what shall we go for? Just tear a few bits out, I think, and see what he looks like on them. Just decisions. See, I didn't bring much and I'm still having a hard time choosing something. Let's try him on a piece of pink because he has got pink, what's that called? Pixie hat? Yeah, that's a pixie hat, isn't it? Do fairies wear pixie hats? Is that too much? A little bit too much. Oops, no, that might be a little bit too little. You're getting lost in it. Let's try a bit of something behind the word as well. We could just go for lace on him or a bit of doily. No, that needs something darker. Let's look at some lace then. Just have to try a few things until we find out. No, I was preferring him on the pink. Let's ink it. I always find the first one of the day the most difficult to get into my stride. Now I'm wondering if the word is not right. Maybe we want a label or something, a little Tracy Fox label. The date. Let's just try the word on some lace. Too much pink, do we think? Try it on some white. Oh, I'm liking the white against the book page there. That just looks like a big part of his wing, doesn't it? Behind him. No, I'm definitely not feeling the pink, but I think what I will do is ink around this corner. So it is a share my process with you video, and this is kind of my process. Try lots of things until I find something that I actually like. So that's given the edge a bit of definition. So that's just a vintage photo distress ink. Try him again. Now I definitely do like him on there, so he is definitely what I'm going to put on. So he's the one certainty. Just get the edges where there was a tad of white showing where I'd cut him out. Okay, what we're going to put behind you, mister? I quite liked that on the white. Hope you could see that and I wasn't too low. You can probably see this is how I like to work with all my stuff around me. I can't work on a lovely, neat, clean desk. I do like to watch people who do it, but it doesn't inspire me. I have to have stuff around me. Which is fine when I'm doing it on my own, but it probably does drive you mad. Sorry if it does. Yes, I like him on there. I just don't know if he wants something behind him or not. I think he does. Try something a bit paler. Normally, see, I'd put some book page behind him, but he's got a book page behind him. He just wants something to make him pop off it. This is just a plain piece of I'm just trying lots of bits, if you can hear me. Doily. I've got on here a bit of material. Some of the threads off. I like it racket tatty, but this material, particular material, frays constantly, which I like, but no, I think the doily was the one I liked the best. Let's just chop some of this solid off it a bit. Yeah, I have to remember it's going to be on a book page as well, so yeah, I think I'm going to have to stop messing and go for that. I didn't decide whether to put him in the top corner or not. Maybe put half of that. Right, let's put this down because we know we want this here. I do like it hanging off the page. Maybe if I ink around this as well. So I've got those threads everywhere from that material. Okay, so I'm doing my video really early again today because we are going to our caravan for a few days today. Obviously with the pandemic over the last, what was it now? It can't be far off 18 months. 15 months, is it? Something like that. We've not been able to go. It's on the east coast in the UK. And to be fair, I've not even felt like going because it's been quite a scary time. But this heat has now made us hanker for it, so we're going to go just have 48 hours rest and relaxation away from the world, and we're going to call off at 1 or 2 charity bookshops on the way, so I may have a little haul to share with you if I manage to get anything. I'll share with you if I do, and of course I'll be on the hunt for lace as I always am. Okay, yeah, I think he'll look different again on a, oh excuse me, on a page as well. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this fairy flower. It's not a flower fairy, it's a flower off a fairy book. So these are not Mary Cicely Barker fairies, I don't believe. No, I don't think they are. They're just from a different fairy book. Yeah, so on a page, that's the one thing I always forget to bring with me, isn't it? A page. A journal page, let's put them on the back of a book. See, stand out from that green. Yeah, and he's on a page with other embellishments on it or pictures or whatever, he'll look fine. Okay, so it's got me started. We've got one done. So what did I do with those envelopes? Now I'm thinking I'd definitely like to use a couple of my fabric clusters on these, so let's see if I can choose. Obviously they don't want to be too big, like that denimy one or velvety one, but I'm not sure. I thought I got 4, I did. Yeah, I quite like that one. So it's not necessarily going there, but so what shall we go with? That's definitely too thick. So the blue, let's go with the blue. Okay, and what we're going to put on the background. Got to have some book page, dictionary page this is. I'll start with a bigger piece and then we can cut it down to the size we want it. And I'll put some doily ready. I don't know if it's going, but maybe some doily. We'll just start building bits like this and see. Oh, I do like this. Now I want to say it's an Artie May's collage page that she put on her website. If it's not and it's somebody else's, I'm really sorry, but I think it probably is. I love those big letters at the bottom. Let's have one of those maybe. Something different on this one. Piece of this letters on lace is Pamet Paper Outpost. And maybe something colourful. Oh, I think this is a Janie B. my pink as well. I'm not digging through everything. I've cut myself down now to just a few pieces. Okay, and we'll create the board, I think, and then see, create the background, I should say, and then see what we want on it, fairy-wise. Okay, so I'm going to go with a piece of, definitely going to go with a piece of book page. That's it. And we're probably going to have these at the top. I'll get rid of the other two so that I don't mix them in, so they'll be at the top somewhere. And then I guess what image I'm going to have on it. I do like the tickets actually as well. Split them up and have a couple of tickets. That's a nice cameo there. It's very pink and girly. So we go with this little purple flower fairy here then. And excuse my arm. There's that little tiny one that I pulled in last time. Cute, just too cute. Is she going to be too big? Maybe we should have her. I think she's based on Tinkerbell. She's from another fairy book. Do you think she gets lost on there a bit? What about this young man? I always come back to the flower fairies. I love all the fairies, but oh, the flower fairies just do it for me. I'm loving all the sycamore, well, we used to call them helicopters, I think, when we were children. I think they're sycamore seed pods. And I saw one on our car the other day, so it must be the season for them in the UK. I think the sycamore, I'm pretty sure the sycamore. Maybe you could be looking down at that mouse, because I do like that mouse. Is he going to go with that? I could always cut it in half. I'll cut a bit off. It's quite big for that envelope. Let's take a chunk off it. My ticket. Oh, maybe the ticket can go on there. Under it. The ticket has got little tiny fairies on it. And again, I'm terrible. I know it's from a kit that I've bought, a digital kit. Can't for the life of me think what it is, whose it is. Right, let's have some colour on them. I think he gets lost on that little bit, but I do like it. Yep, liking that one. Maybe we could just have, because the toadstools on this ticket go with the toadstools, or mushrooms, whichever they are. I think the toadstools on there. And I think by the time we've got a bit of lace on there, so I'm not sure about that now. Let's snip it. Let's try a piece of real fine. Yep, I think that's the colour I'm looking for. Ah, maybe that ties it all in. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one alone for a minute because I think he's not far off. It's a bit full, as you know. I like it full. And again, I'm just going to tear this one down a little bit and make him a little bit smaller. That piece of velvet looks like a leaf. Yep, I'm liking that with those combinations of colours. Obviously as I build I might change it, but We're going to use ticket on him. It's tucked in. I seem to be using a lot of the male flower fairies at the moment as well. Right, so that looks really OTT at the minute, doesn't it? So let's take one out of the work on one and decide if we've got too much. Inking it and gluing it down often makes a big difference. Seems to finish them off, change them in some way. Yeah, I'll just really quickly ink round this. I mean, it will be inked when it's used, but and I know I said yesterday I'm not inking a lot around the flower fairies, but I think when I'm doing something like this that's quite strongly coffee dyed, it needs it, otherwise the edges just look a bit like they're disappearing into nothing. Of course we're going with that one on top, aren't we? And it's just a case of personal preference, really. Okay, let's get glue in. Glue page. And this is just me Pritt Stick glue stick. Paper to paper, it's absolutely fine. You get a few minutes to take it off and put it down again if you want to. Yes, I did remember my dry wipe today again. I think that might be twice in a row. Oops. We got higher up with that, I think. They always stick to me. I think it's the amount of glue stick glue I put on, and then when I pick it up it's stuck on my fingers. Okay, where's he gone? I think he's a bit of a baby flower fairy, this one, isn't he? He's having quite a leap. I think he might need inking as well. I'm obviously in an inking mood this morning because everything's getting a bit of it. There we go. Oh yeah, I like him just going over the two there. Yeah. And I'm going to, as always, fabric tack in because he's got that shiny side. In Pritt Stick very probably would hold it, but when these go to other people I'm always worried that they're going to start falling apart, and that would be so disappointing. Over there a little bit, sticking to my glue page. Ooh. Maybe do that glue a little bit. I nearly did the splits then. Right, hold him still while I get some of this glue off. I think maybe I put a tad too much on there. Oh no. Well, let me just have a look, make sure there's no shiny glue. There is. Nothing worse when it dries on show. I think that's it. I suppose with the flower fairies, if I've got a bit of shiny glue, I could always wet it again and put some glitter on it. Pretend it's supposed to be there. Okay, so I did quite like that cluster coming off there. Yeah, so I'll definitely go for that one. And that's fabric tack. I love making these clusters, these little fabric clusters. I've got stacks of them. See, it's a lovely thing to just sit and do and not think about. Excuse me, just tear little bits of fabric up and put them together. Yeah. So, word or ticket? I think the ticket was a bit OTT. I think I'm going to try a word, even though we've got the book page up there. Not a creamy coloured one. Do we want a black one? Unless we back a creamy coloured one. Just bear with me while I have a little play with the tickets a minute. I just suddenly thought ticket up there might be nice. And I'm fancying a little red pop. So these are my mostly Tracy Fox labels. There are one or two shabby dabby doodah things in here as well. But these ticket labels. Quite like that one. These are Tracy Fox. This is the problem, they're all so nice as well. It's such a choice. I think there was 3 or 4 sheets on it, 3 sheets I think, with thousands of these little tiny labels on. So they're brilliant value for money and they go a long way. Maybe a sideways on one. Right, and at the bottom, we're going for a word. It doesn't look blissful or peaceful, does it? How about friendship? I'm going to have a look at this black friendship one. I'm just trimming it. He could be taking his flowers to someone who is going to be friends with. Yeah, I like that. Just think it might need something behind it. Fabri-Tac's pulling all my nail varnish off again. What shall we have behind him? The word, that is. Shall we have a bit more fabric? Oh, the little bits are hard to pull rather than cut, but if you pull them you get the lovely frayed edges on them. Yep, it does blend in there a little bit, but I like it. Perhaps it can go off the edge as well. Okay, let's get some of these bits stuck down again. Let's stick that down. Yep. I'm going to ink this. I think if I ink it quite well, it might blend in more than it actually was as well. So I'll ink the edges and then I'll go over the top of it as well. Blend it right in. Just wondering if I just want a portion of it. Whoop. Let's cut a bit of it off as if it is hanging off, being cut off for some reason. Yeah, that's definitely what I was looking for. So I'm just going to use Pritt Stick on these. They are just printed on, I think it's just heavy paper stock. It's not card, but it is quite thick paper. Yep, so it looks like it's been touched and thumbed and used, and that grungy look that we like in a journal, a lot of us. I'm just going to go down here with the, whoops. The old bit of pillowcase. Beautiful cotton pillowcase. It has been washed really hot, so it's beautiful and clean and aged. And it was my pillowcase, so I know exactly where it's been. Yeah, I'm liking that. Again, we need it on something where the background is not. Just for this very busy book, this glue book magazine. Yeah, I'm liking that one. What did I do with the other one there? Excuse my hand. I'll clear the tables when I've done this one and look at them without anything behind them. Okay, let's go again. Last one. I don't know if you're moving any quicker today. I often sit down and think, right, I'm just going to do a quick 15-20 minute video. But I'm sure it's just like when any of you sit down at the craft table and think, right, I'll just have 10 minutes. 3 hours later, you think, oh, my back aches, or I need a cup of tea. Suddenly you have to, I need my glue book back again. You have to move and realise you've been there a long time. Oh, I was going to ink with the glue, that's not good. That would have made an interesting piece of paper. Okay. Right, the sun looks absolutely beautiful out there this morning already. Were we going this side? No, we were going this side, I think. Too late now, it's down. This is what I mean about things changing once and I'm not bothered about that, quite like that. He's definitely got to go up there because I am going to leave him as a corner piece. There's nothing going under him here, so I might as well put him down. Oops, that's right, he was going to be looking down at the mouse there, so I think I have put that book page on a different side, but sometimes this is how good things happen. Something you hadn't thought of, but you accidentally do. And you've got a masterpiece. Well, to you. I actually don't mind that mouse on the coffee dyed background. And we were going with this, weren't we, because I liked that on there. And again, we'll decide about the ticket last. Alright, so that bit of lace isn't attached. That's a big piece of glue for a very fine piece of lace. Hopefully this fabric cluster will soak it up and make it, oh, got thread sticking to me again there. What's that? Oh, that piece of ribbon at the back, that is a fray. That does fray. Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and put him down before I overthink him. Oh, now I've put glue, Pritt Stick glue on him instead of Fabri-Tac. So I'm just going to Fabri-Tac the edges, his tail for example, because I don't want them to pull up. That's well and truly glued now. I don't think you're going anywhere now, mister. Want you down? Oh. Get that tail down. Oh, I like him. And he is looking straight down at him, that was good. He's just thinking what fun he's going to have with that little mouse, I think. Got a cheeky little look on his face. Okay, so I'm not going with a toadstool, I think that might be a bit of overkill now. And I quite like a little piece of blank there, but I'm wondering if a little tiny ticket down the side. No. I've obviously got bits of glue stuck on my fingers here. Or maybe up under that. That's it. Yes, that's exactly it. And as always, I'm looking at it and wanting to add more, but I'm not going to. I'm looking at the bottom right hand corner there and thinking, yeah, like that, just popping out of there. But it could have something when I actually use it in the book. It's a place where I could add something if I wanted to. I specifically didn't use butterflies, so that I can have them when I'm creating the book if I want to. Right, let's look at them on this so that we can see them away from all the messy background, which is going to take me a good 15 minutes to clear up once I turn the camera off and start packing up, ready to go. Okay, so that's them. Hope you enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed making them. More in my stash for my flower fairies. I will get it out in a few days time and show you everything I've made so far. So I'm not sure when the next video will be. It could be a couple of days. I might get a chance to make one while we're away, but I'm not going to force myself. So next time we'll do the last few bases that we've got to do, which look like just 3 journal cards, I think, and a pocket, and then we'll get them all out and have a look at them and maybe start getting some pages together for the actual journal. So please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd love it if you joined my subscribers if you're not one of them, and I'd definitely love to see you back here again in the next videos. So have an absolutely lovely day wherever you are, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.